The rain fell in sheets, a relentless gray curtain that blurred the world into a watercolor wash. On a busy street corner, an old man stood, his shoulders hunched against the biting wind. He held a large, sturdy black umbrella, a solitary shield against the downpour. He wasn't waiting for a bus or a ride. He was simply watching the world hurry by, a quiet observer in the midst of the chaos. Suddenly, a small figure caught his eye. A young girl, no older than 10, was huddled under the flimsy awning of a closed shop. Her clothes were already soaked through, sticking to her small frame, and she shivered, her teeth chattering audibly. Her backpack, heavy with school books, seemed to pull her down. She looked utterly lost and miserable, a tiny island of despair in the rushing river of pedestrians. The old man's heart ached for her. He remembered days like this from his own youth, the feeling of cold seeping into your bones, the sense of being alone against the elements. Without a second thought, he started walking towards her. As he approached, the girl looked up, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and curiosity. He offered a gentle, reassuring smile, his wrinkles deepening around his eyes. "Here," he said, his voice soft but clear over the drumming of the rain. "You need this more than I do." He extended the umbrella towards her. The girl hesitated, looking from the man's kind face to the dry haven the umbrella offered. "But what about you, sir?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. "You'll get all wet." The old man chuckled, a warm, rumbling sound. "Don't you worry about me. I'm an old boat. A little water won't sink me. My home is just around the corner. You, on the other hand, look like you have a longer journey ahead." He pressed the handle firmly into her small hand. "Go on now. Get home safe and warm." The girl's fingers closed around the smooth, worn wood of the handle. She looked up at him, her eyes filled with a gratitude so profound it needed no words. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you so much." He simply nodded, gave her one last smile, and turned to walk away. The girl watched as he merged into the crowd, his white hair quickly plastered to his head, his thin jacket instantly darkening with rain. She watched until he was out of sight, clutching the umbrella like a precious treasure. That day the old man walked home completely drenched, but his heart was filled with a warmth that no amount of rain could extinguish. Years flew by, as they always do. The seasons changed, the city grew, and memories faded like old photographs. The old man grew older, his steps slower, his body frailer. The young girl grew up, the memory of that rainy day a soft, gentle echo in the back of her mind. She pursued her dreams with a fierce determination, driven by a quiet but powerful desire to help others, a seed planted long ago on a rain-soaked street corner. She became a doctor, her hands now skilled in healing, her heart still full of the compassion she had been shown. One winter evening, an elderly patient was rushed into the emergency room. He was unconscious, his breathing shallow, suffering from severe pneumonia and a high fever. The hospital was understaffed, and the on-call doctor was a young, sharp-eyed woman who immediately took charge. It was her. She worked tirelessly through the night, her focus absolute. She saw not just a case number or a set of symptoms, but a person, someone's father, someone's friend. She monitored his vitals, adjusted his medication, and fought to bring him back from the brink. It was a long, arduous battle. As dawn broke, painting the sky in hues of pale pink and orange, the old man's condition finally stabilized. His fever broke and his breathing eased. He slowly regained consciousness, his eyes fluttering open to see the doctor sitting by his bedside, her face etched with exhaustion but also with relief. He looked at her, his memory hazy. "Where dar?" he rasped, his voice weak. "You're in the hospital," she said softly, her voice full of kindness. "You were very sick, but you're going to be okay now. You're safe." As she spoke, her gaze fell upon a small, unique scar on his wrist, a faint crescent moon shape. Suddenly, a torrent of memories flooded her mind. The relentless rain, the shivering cold, a large black umbrella, and a kind, wrinkled smile. She looked from the scar to his face, really looking at him for the first time. The years had changed him, but the gentle spirit in his eyes was unmistakable. It was him, the man who had shown her such selfless kindness all those years ago. Tears welled up in her eyes, blurring her vision. They were not tears of sadness, but of overwhelming gratitude and a sense of cosmic poetry. The world, which had once seemed so vast and random, suddenly felt incredibly small and interconnected. A circle had been completed. She leaned closer, her voice dropping to a whisper, thick with emotion. "Do you remember?" she began, her voice cracking. "A long time ago, on a very rainy day, you gave your umbrella to a little girl who was cold and alone." The old man blinked, his mind slowly piecing together the fragmented memory. A flicker of recognition crossed his face. The doctor smiled through her tears. "You saved me from the storm that day," she whispered, taking his frail hand in hers. "Today it was my turn to save you." The old man's eyes widened, and a single tear traced a path down his weathered cheek. In that quiet hospital room, as a new day began, two souls were bound together by an act of kindness that had rippled through time, a beautiful reminder that no good deed, no matter how small, is ever truly forgotten. It always finds its way back. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content that celebrates the best of humanity. We'll see you in the next one.